Hello, this video is to discuss the answer to the question in the radio tower assessment sheet which says correct setting of 27 meg radios and correct setting of VHF radios. And the question is really aimed at the two primary 27 meg radios there and the two primary VHF radios over there. So I'm just going to go through one at a time, starting with the 27 meg, and show you what the correct answer is to that question. It's easy to come in the morning and look at the radios and see that that one's on 90 and that one's on 88. Maybe check the volume by turning down the squelch, and if that all seems right, then that's it. But the complete answer to the how to set the 27 meg radios when it comes to the two primary radios, what you want to look at is to see what the native channel is on each radio. You can tell what the native channel is by pressing the 88 button if it's been depressed, pressing it again to release it from 88. This 88 button on both radios forces, is a toggle switch. It forces it to go to 88, and then when you press it again, it releases it from 88, and it releases it to the native channel. So the native channel on both these radios should be set on 90. And then this radio should be forced to go to 88. So the correct answer to that part of the question is they should both be set on 90 as the native channel, and then the one on the right should be forced to go to 88 by pressing the 88 button. And you can tell if it's set right when you come in addition to checking the volume and squelch, by pressing the 88 button, releasing it to the native channel, and just double checking to be sure that the native channel is 90 on both radios. The reason that's important is that if if you need to, you could switch the position of the two channels with one button push on each radio by pressing the 88 button there, which releases it to 90, and pushing the 88 button there, which forces it to go to 88. So with one touch on each radio, you can switch position of the two channels between 88 and 90. And that's only possible if the native channel on both of them is set to 90. The final thing that I didn't mention is the noise limiter. The noise limiter should be on both radios. So volume and squelch set correctly. The native channel should be set to 90 on both radios. The one on the right should be forced to go to 88 using the 88 button, and the noise limiter should be on. Okay, these are the two primary VHF radios. The 16 button on both of these radios work differently from the 88 button on the 27 megs. The 16 button on these radios just forces it to go to 16, and every time you push it, it continues to be forced to go to 16. It doesn't release it from 16. It's not a toggle switch like it is on the 27 meg. So you have to have a way then to get quickly back to 73 because you can't do it just by pushing the 16 button a second time. So the way we do that is to have both radios set on channel 73 as the native channel, meaning if it's not forced to go to 16, it should go to 73. And to do that, you need to tag channel 73 on both radios and only 73, so that if you hit the scan button on one radio and the 16 button on the other, you can switch positions. And you can only do that if there's only one channel tagged in scan, namely 73. If there were more than one channel tagged, then when you hit the scan button, instead of going to 73, it would start searching through all the tagged channels. So if it does start searching through the tagged channels when you hit scan, you know that something is wrong and you have to untag all the other channels other than 73. So the native channel on both radios should be set on 73, and the one on the right should be forced to go to 16 by pushing the 16 button. And again, that's because with one touch on each radio, you can switch position of the 73 and 16 radio. So by pushing the 16 here and the scan there, I switch position of the two channels. Scan 16, and I switch them back again. The other things to be sure of on these radios is that they're on high power. This black one on the left, you can change the power by hitting the high-low button on the mic, and it says either 25 watts or 1 watt in the window. On this one on the right, you do the same thing. You can hit the high-low button on the mic, and it says nothing if it's on high, and it says low if it's on low. So they should both be on high power. Also, they should both be set to international. which is a little I in the window of the smaller one, and an INT in the window of the larger one. If for some reason they're not set on international, you can change them to international by holding the high-low button, high-low power button, and simultaneously pushing down the dial button. Changes to USA and back to international. That's on that radio. On this radio, like the other smaller radios up here, the VHF radios, you switch between US and international by depressing the two up and down channel buttons simultaneously. Goes to US and back to international. So they're both on high power, they're both on international, and they're both set with 73 as the only channel tagged in scan in the native channel. And that one's forced to go to 16 by pushing 16, and then you check the volume by turning down the squelch button. And that's the VHF radio setup.